Hello there, cult members, and welcome to the Pop Culture Cult. I'm Sean.
I'm Josh.
And this is The Rebel Files, your weekly Star Wars source for everything news and maybe pop culture, something related. I'm going to get rid of this board. That's what you call timing. We also... Huh?
It just happened.
It just happened.
Like right there.
In the show last night, we were like 2 minutes in, and Batman, who sits up here normally, just jumped off. He was like, I'm done with you! Ah!
Arkham Poltergeist. That's a thing.
Hey, this is what happens when you move sets around and stuff. This is your home for all Star Wars news, which happens to be about The Mandalorian, and that's about it right now because the end of the year, and we're not really going to get anything big till after the first of the year.
Actors, film crews want to take breaks?
It's something like that. I was trying not to read the article on makingstarwars.net about some tidbits from episode 9. And I opened the article and I skimmed through and I'm like, nope, I don't want to read any of this stuff.
I read it.
I'll read the Mandalorian stuff, but I don't want to read anything about 9. Nothing.
I read it. It was... We won't go into it, but let's just say not surprising.
I'm not surprised either. This is the Rebel Files. This is part of the Pop Culture Cult. What we ask from you guys is hit the subscribe. It's up around here somewhere, whatever. Hit the subscribe button, hit the bell for notifications, and get a hold of us on our social media network. All that stuff is in the description below. Follow us everywhere and share with all of your friends.
We appreciate stalking.
We do appreciate stalking, Anton. I'm talking to you. Our number 2 fan. I can't call my number 1 fan because my daughter would take offense. Look, we're still on paper. It's the future. It's the wave of the future. So let's get into the Mandalorian stuff that we know for sure, and then a little bit of speculation, more speculation of stuff that we've heard. They officially came out last week and said, here is the official cast. Even though we've been filming for 2 months.
Pretty much what they've been saying.
Pretty much.
Not a shock.
The official cast. Pedro Pascal is the Mandalorian.
Oh, yeah.
Again, not a surprise.
No.
That's been the number one rumor going around. I'm wondering how they're gonna do stuff because I know Tika's been on set directing stuff, and I know Dave Filoni's been on set doing stuff, but they're not gonna officially announce anybody until they're halfway through shooting stuff. So I have questions about A, how they're doing this, and B, like why now are we going official? Is it contracts?
I'm almost kind of wondering if they're doing like a hybrid style of filming with having that many directors kind of on set at the same time. I'm wondering if because of the way they're building the sets out, they're actually filming 100% out of sequence.
Yeah.
So while they've got a set built, they're going out filming scenes for, intricate scenes from different episodes so they can tear it down and do it again. And honestly, it would be ingenious just to screw with all of us who are looking at set photos.
Right. We're going to get into a set photo conversation and that particular conversation in a second. But I want to go over the rest of the official cast as we know it right now. Gina Carano, again, we've seen photos of her on set. That's happening. Giancarlo Esposito from Breaking Bad. Esposito from Breaking Bad. He's in it. I'm thinking he's going to be more of a voice actor guy. Emily Swallow from Supernatural. Carl Weathers, Apollo Creed, is going to be in it. Now, there has been photos of him on set, and he's got kind of a smuggler Han Solo kind of look with the coat on.
Yep.
So I think he's going to be like a smuggler and stuff like that. We have Ahmad Apatay from American Gods. Werner Herzog. German names. Werner Herzog. That you got it. Herzog. Fuck you.
It would fit with some of his documentaries. I'm just saying.
Yes, with a great voice. And Nick Nolte. That was officially announced. Now, Nick Nolte is probably either going to be that old guy, and we talked about that in the previous episode.
Yep.
Warner, he is going to be a voice character. He's going to be. I don't see him on set wearing a big costume or something like that. He's going to be a CGI character.
If he's honestly, I think if they do anything, he'll do what they've done in the past. He'll be on set in costume, but not the main role.
Right.
Like, he'll be in a couple of scenes somewhere tucked back just as his on-screen presence, but I do agree. I think he's absolutely going to be 100% voiceover cast member because if any of you have watched his documentaries out there, it's undeniable.
Yeah.
Just the power he has in his voice. He's just one of those, he's instantaneously recognizable.
Yeah. And I think that's kind of having unique voices within the different characters will lend some gravitas, for lack of a better term, to it. And you have a unique voice with Nick Nolte. You have a unique voice with Espinosa, with Nick Nolte, Werner Herzog. Haha, I got it. You got all these different, and they had very different voices. I'm thinking a lot of interaction with aliens and smugglers and stuff like that. There was some rumors. I didn't see any photos, but MakingStarWars.net again had a story that looks like IG-88 and Bosk are both on set. So, and there's the Droid Guild, the Assassin Droid Guild. I can't remember I didn't write it down. Which is in the Tarkin book. It's in Dr. Aphra, that kind of thing. So they're thinking that we're going to get some of the bounty hunter stuff with the droids. Would make a lot of sense with the Mandalorian probably doing some stuff. And so IG-88 would be awesome seeing running around trying to shoot people.
So kind of going into that. So recycling plot lines just like you're recycling Bosk's costume from Doctor Who.
Right.
You know, IG-88, huge influence, obviously, in the entire Boba Fett arc.
Right.
You know, just from Extended Universe and everything else. Bosk, you know, still going to be probably around at that time frame, you know, being shortly after kind of Return of the Jedi and everything else. You know, they're still in play. They're still heavy bounty hunters. They're still out there. There's some more of your Boba Fett continuity there. Right. Honestly, absolutely fitting. I think it's a great way to bring classic characters back into the fold again.
And especially cool-looking ones that we didn't get much from in the original trilogy.
Yeah, especially now with the new animatronics and the new, other stuff. You know, you can't exactly shove a scrawny guy into IG-88's outfit, but you can do great motion capture with the character.
Totally. That's exactly what I was thinking was the mocap stuff.
Yep.
So, yeah.
So I think it's going to be I'm glad to see more of the bounty hunters brought into it again. So I think we're going to see, realistically, I think where it's going to go is we're going to see a lot of extended universe dealings with IG-88, because IG-88 was a lethal character.
Yeah.
You know, we're going to see more of him brought in, and we're going to see some of those things maybe from like Shadows of the Empire, you know, and everything else. Right. Now, that meaning with IG-88, we might actually see some more Black Sun, you know, since they're canon now. So we might see a little bit more of that, but again, going off the rail.
You might get a little bit more with Black Sun, but you might also get at least a comment or somebody says something about Crimson Dawn. Ord Mantell. I was gonna say Crimson Dawn mentioned because that's now in the Han Solo, and so they wanted to do the criminal underworld. I know they wanted to do the criminal underworld. And so having that Crimson Dawn, Black Sun, that kind of like all that kind of conversation being brought up in this, you sprinkle it all here, and then you come back later and you do Han Solo 2, or you do the Bounty Hunter movie. You set up all the bounty hunters in the show, and then you do a bounty hunter movie in the theater. You could kind of get away with doing that. The other main thing that came out of the set was the set for The Mandalorian is called, well, the filming of it is called Huckleberry, and the filming for Avatar 2 is Corral, and they are filming on the same lot next door to each other.
Yep.
And someone from the Avatar 2 set wandered over, or they were talking with each other at lunch, or whatever happened, and there is a helmet on set that looks strangely like Sabine's. Now, not exactly like Sabine's from Rebels. It's got the owl-looking face and a similar paint scheme, but different colors and stuff like that. And so that has led to a ton of speculation online about the fact that are we getting Sabine in the show? Now, we've talked about it, that Sabine in the show makes a ton of sense.
Absolutely.
As a Mandalorian, a direct heir to the throne, and you're talking about them searching for Ezra in the Outer Rim. You have all that kind of conversation going on there. Sabine being in the show at some point in time makes a ton of sense. Maybe not so much Ahsoka, but Sabine makes sense. Now, before we started filming tonight, we started talking about this, and he had the thought that Gina Carano could be Sabine.
Potentially. Not ideally, but potentially.
Right.
And it goes kind of into the thing like what we were talking about is if you okay, so long, I once I heard this, I had to go back. I like, we're just seeing Gina very, very, kind of yoked out in her physical element. And if you look at some of the older pictures of Gina Carano when her hair is done a certain way, man, dude, she looks like she could be Sabine.
Right.
But I still don't quite see it.
Right.
She's got the physicality, the actor. She can do some of the gymnastics and the stunts. Do I think she's quite as nimble as Sabine? No. But we also have to remember that a younger version of her was in Rebels
and
compared to what's going to be an older version of her.
And as a cartoon,
And as a cartoon.
you can get away with a little bit more of defying physics in a cartoon and stuff like that.
Do I think it's going to pan out that way? From everything I've heard, probably not. I don't think so. Is it kind of cool? Sure. It'd be an ideal scenario. I don't really think so.
Yeah, I feel like she might be a member of Sabine's clan, or at least stole the armor from Sabine's clan, because you can't have that owl-shaped helmet and not have it be.
It's Ren.
It's got to be a Ren. So, there is some connection to Ren, and if you think about Filoni being directly involved in this series. Directing, at least we know the first episode, but we think it's probably the first 2 episodes. So he's setting the tone. He's going to want to bring Sabine and Ahsoka in as much as he possibly can.
Yeah. So here's kind of the weird thing. So I'm wondering if obviously we talked about it in previous episodes, but the whole MacGuffin being the baby and everything.
Right.
And obviously we know that we have a primary arc and we always have sub arcs within the series. So. If the appearance, obviously, Ahsoka and Sabine are out looking for Ezra in the Outer Rim. So secondary plot device is, where's Sabine? You have the helmet. Her helmet's been recovered. What happened to her?
What happened to her, yeah.
Because there's a lot of times in Rebels where she left her helmet, or she was constantly without wearing it.
If you had that cool blue hair, you wouldn't want to put it underneath the helmet. Come on.
Stylish. So it would make sense for them to have kind of a subplot where they were talking about, what happened to Ren.
Yeah.
They know she's out
Bring
there.
her in and stuff.
Where she's at. So it may end up being a side quest where they actually do look for Sabine.
Yeah, it's actually a really super kind of cool conversation, but I think in the grand scheme of things, it's not what I want with Gina's character. I like Gina. She's a very nice person. I've never met her. We've never had beers, but she's always come across as a very awesome person, but her acting ability, as she has shown, is not great. Now, I thought she was kind of cool in the Fast and the Furious movie, was it 6 or 7 or whatever. I thought she was a cool character in that, but she didn't have a ton of lines. She was much more there for the physical parts. So if she was there for the physical parts, that would be kind of cool. I think it would be cool if she's one of the bounty hunters with Bosk and IG-88 and whatever, trying to track down the baby or the Mandalorian or whatever.
Right.
But I want Sabine and I want Ahsoka at least mentioned in this show, or at least the ghost shows up or something like that. You have this connective tissue to what you're talking about with the legends and everything like that. You have then the connections that you bring in with Rebels, and maybe you mention the Clone Wars, or you have the first setup of the First Order. It makes it a connective tissue thing, and you have 10 episodes and a ton of money and stuff to put in on this show, so you can do that. You can kind of get away with a lot of that different things.
Yeah, and even if we want to go further down the spiral, just for speculate responsibly, if you just wanted to throw probably one of the most outlandish things out there that you might be able to, how do you tie Rebels further into the Mandalorian, given the time sequences after the end of Rebels?
Right.
Who's Hera's son? Jason Syndulla.
Jason
Syndulla. In the time that they showed it during the season finale of Rebels, Jason Syndulla's about what, maybe like 3 years old or so, small child, not quite a baby.
And that was before they went to find Sabine and Ahsoka after the Battle of Endor. So that would put him
4 years old or so.
Well, so the show is supposed to be 6 to 8 years after the Battle of Endor.
Oh, okay, Mandalorian. Okay,
the Mandalorian. So he would be, a teenager.
He would be a teenager at that point. So, but
that's why I'm looking at the list of names again. I'm like, no,
right?
No,
yeah, no, not as a primary, not as a primary character, but at some point seeing Jason Syndulla and Hera somewhere appear in the series because they're still active.
Yeah.
They're still very much active. And, those are other characters that we might see that we can just start kind of piecing in over the course of the series as we find out more information.
Yeah.
What happened to these people, obviously being the son of, Wow. Wow. Kanan. Being the son of Kanan, obviously there's ties back to the Jedi.
Right.
So, obviously, there at least mentions.
There's got to be something there. There's only one other news thing that kind of came up this week, and it has to deal with Celebration. Warwick Davis, here's a big surprise that nobody is surprised by. Warwick Davis is going to be the host of Celebration. And if you've watched any of the Celebration stuff before, he's hosted a ton of different panels. Well, he's going to be the host of the entire thing. So he's going to be at all the big panels, and he is amazing as a host.
He is.
Like him and we are the worst fans ever. C-3PO. Anthony Daniels, Jesus Christ. Anthony Daniels going back and forth with Warwick Davis is hilarious. They're good friends, but they don't act like
no, they're constantly going back
each
and
other.
forth.
So having Warwick be the head guy at the Celebration in April would be a lot of fun, which we're looking forward to. Yep. So that's at least the news for this week. We will have a video for the next 2 weeks because of the holidays, but don't expect anything news-wise to come out. So. Nope. That's our thoughts. What do you guys think? Do you think Sabine's going to be in The Mandalorian? Are you excited about this cast? And let us know. If you're going to Celebration, let us know. We need a correspondent on set or on site. And we would love photos and information so we could share it with everybody else. So please let us know if you're going to be there. Leave us a comment. Like this video. Subscribe to the channel. And all of our social media stuff is in the description. Until next time, I'm one with the Force.
And the Force is with me.